Today we're going to talk about our philosophy of our double wing offense that we use here at Lincoln Way East. This double wing offense is a great fit for us. It gives us the flexibility on offense to manipulate a little bit and change our personnel to fit. Each year we have different types of personnel, different types of talents that come in, and we want to make sure we utilize that talent to be as effective as possible. So this double wing offense allows us to utilize as much. And we're going to talk about some of the elements of this philosophy to help you out as a coach. The first thing we're going to cover here is our ace formation. Now this ace formation is a basic alignment that we are in as an offense. This is our main part of our double wing offense. I'm going to explain the alignment of it, a little bit of the splits, and then how we choose our personnel. With this ace formation, we have our two wideouts, our X and our Y receiver. They are splitting the difference between the hash and the sideline in a two-point stance. That's if the ball's in the center of the field. Our two wings, our T on our left side and our Z on our right side, are 2 feet off the tackle's heels, angled in, looking at the backside inside linebacker from each position. So they'll be literally 2 feet from the left tackle's heels and the right tackle's heels angled in. We'll break down the alignment in great detail as we move on. The fullback is 1.5 yards from his hand position to the quarterback's heels. So he's approximately 3 yards from the line of scrimmage. The tackle split will vary both left and right between 3.5 to 4.5 feet. Our guard split is about 2.5 feet left and right, and our center will set the particular alignment. Personnel. As far as our personnel and choosing our personnel for this particular formation, that's going to vary depending on each year. Our wide receivers, the number one prerequisite for the wide receivers is the ability to catch the football. They have to have the hands to catch it, either very good hands or very decent hands where they can catch the ball with their body. But their prerequisite is they have to be able to catch the football. Their secondary area is they got to be able to block. They got to help us out block in front of the hole, blocking out in the perimeter. And then the third area we look at definitely is their route running. Depending on the type of athlete that we have there, the better the athlete, the more flexibility we have as far as throwing the ball and the ability to run off on some of our running routes, the better we are. This past year we had 2 outstanding receivers that caught between 50 and 70 balls each. Our wing position is our most athletic position. These two guys, we have to put our best athletes there. These guys have to have the ability to run the football, to block for the other person, and catch the ball because they're going to be en route. So our wings are our most athletic positions. So we look at our best athletes there, and we want to lock them in those positions there. Our fullback, it depends. It depends on the year. This type of kid can be more of a bruiser. We like to say he could be our Mike or our Will inside backer or possibly our Sam or Hit outside backer. But he's that type of mold. He's got to be physical. He's got to be able to block. That's his number one prerequisite, is his blocking ability. If he can carry the football, that's outstanding also, depending on the year that we have. But his key is his blocking ability and be able to pop both run and pass blocking. Our quarterback obviously is got to be the person that can make things happen. The number one priority we have in this position is we want a very good athlete, but the main point of that athlete is he's got to have some brains. He's got to be a person that has the ability that can run the offense and motivate and help us run this offense effectively. Whether it's our run game or our pass game, he has got to have the brains to handle that, because we will leave a lot of things on his shoulders to take care of as far as our run game or pass game, and he's got to be able to do that. His second area basically is athletically. We'd like him to be a great athlete, but we've sacrificed in the past dealing with brains, having a smart person out there and maybe a little lesser athlete to make the offense go. So if we can get both smarts and athletic, we've hit jackpot there. That's something that we definitely have the flexibility to handle many parts of our offense when we have both. Our line position, our guards are guys that can move and that have some sides. They can run, they can think on their feet a little bit, they can trap, they can lead up a hole. They got to have that ability to finish their blocks as far as getting up the hole and attacking a linebacker or even a secondary person. So they have to be the two best type of athletes. Depending on our wing position will depend on which guard we play, either on the left side or right side, and that varies from year to year. Our tackles have to be our big boys, our guys that are big and they can take on a block and release to that second level. They can block the big old 6 technique or 5 technique end. They can block down on a 3 technique. So they have to have the ability to step and move people and also get to that second level. The key with our tackles is they got to be pretty good pass blockers. We want to make sure they can pass that edge rusher if we need and handle any kind of play action situation we have. Our center, the key with our center is making sure he has the ability to think on the move and the ability to snap and step, and also the ability to get a shotgun snap, because depending on the type of personnel we have will depend on whether we run our shotgun snap a lot or not. But he has to have the ability to pass block, run block, and snap and step along with the shotgun snap. So that's kind of how we choose our personnel. Again, we'll vary up depending on the type of talent that we have. If we see we're struggling in certain areas as far as maybe a blocking back goes, we might adjust a little bit of the offense around the other guys. So we have the flexibility with this double wing offense to meet all our needs. We've been running this offense for the past 10 years. I've been born on this offense. I've learned from several fantastic coaches that had this offense, and I worked as a lower level coach under this offense and really learned the inside and outsides of this offense. Since we came over to East from our main situation, these are some of our data that we've collected over the past 5 years. The last 5-year record-wise, and this past year we were fortunate enough to be 14-0 and win the state title. In 2004, we were 8-5, a younger group, pretty immature. I don't want to say immature and handling certain situations, but we didn't handle the offense or grasp the offense well enough until the second half of the year. 0-3, we were 6-4, a pretty senior-dominated team that we struggled with as far as our vertical game goes. 2002 and 2001, 2002 was our best group there as far as those 2 years being all seniors and going to the quarterfinals. And then 2001 we were 6-4 with all juniors. So an overall record of 44-15. Obviously the 2002 group and the 2005 group were much more balanced groups. We had the ability to run and throw at any given down, and we had the confidence to do so, and I think that elevated our offense a great bit. 2004 and 2003 were more run-dominated teams, very young team, learning the offense and getting better and maturing. And then in 2001 we were all juniors, so we were throwing the ball around left and right to try to find ways to win the games. Last 5 years, on an average, right around 27, 28 points a game, about 160 yards rushing, 170 yards passing. And you can see the 05 and the 02 group were two of the groups that had that balance, that could handle it. The other groups was skewed a lot. We rushed for about 200 and something yards in 03, about another 190 yards in 04. So depending on the personnel, depending on the talent, we were able to adjust the offense around. Here's some other supporting data. Last 5 years, we averaged right around 600 plays a game, which is right between 55 and 65 plays, depending on the given game. 445 of those plays out of the 600 we're in our ace formation, we're in our double wing formation. So you can see that we use this formation a great deal of time, and we're going to go through that philosophy on this. We have 7 main elements with this philosophy. Our first main element is to stretch the defense vertically and horizontally by our formation. And we're going to go through some footage here on how we do that. But we want, by our ace formation, to get a defense thinking we're going to go vertically or think we're going to go horizontally. So we're trying to attack those 2 big areas of the football field. We have an immediate use of 4 receivers and 4 running backs at any given play, no matter if we're motioning or not motioning out of that. We want to attack 10 gaps rather than the traditional 9 gap theory. And we'll take a look at those 10 gaps. We feel we have 1 extra gap to attack compared to those pro-con teams. We want to predict the defense by our formation. So as you look at our ace formation, we can tell what type of defense they're going to give us. They have to be in a balanced look. If they're not in a balanced look, we're going to really take advantage of them. The use of motion can create strength and misdirection. We feel the use of motion gives us an extra guy on that side of the field to attack running full speed. It also creates a misdirection either run-wise or pass-wise. This ace formation creates blocking angles by it. By being in this formation, we have the angles to attack the opponents, and they can choose any way they want to try to defend us, and we feel we can take advantage and attack them. And then we get into our shell theory. The whole reason behind the double wing offense is we have an illusion going on, and it creates that with the run or pass game. But these are our 7 main elements of how we want to attack a defender using this particular offense. Let's take a look at our first main element, which is stretching the defense vertically and horizontally by our formation. As we mentioned, we're in this ace formation with our receiver splitting the difference between the hash and the sideline if the ball's in the middle of the field. If we're on a right hash, he'll be 2 yards outside the hash, and the other receiver is 5 yards from the sideline. Now, in this particular formation, we are trying to go deep as much as possible. Make that defense defend us vertically, okay? And the same token, they have to defend us horizontally also. Okay, they have to defend the whole type of field that we have. So you can see we're trying to stretch them vertically and horizontally and spread them out. Let's take a look at some film here on what we're trying to accomplish. Okay, these are our vertical routes and what we're trying to get taken care of. We're trying to push these guys vertically. In our side view, you'll get a better look at it. We're trying to push the defenders to stop us vertically. They're giving us a 3 look here, and what we're trying to do is push them vertically and try to pick on the seams here of this. Our X and Y receiver are going to stay right around 5 yards from the sideline as they're working vertically. And our 2 inside wings are going to try to get to the hashes. And you can see this a lot with the tape here. But we're stretching the defense. They got to defend us vertically first. But again, we're creating seams between the defenders as we're attacking them vertically. And the under coverage has to be a part of stopping these seams. Okay, this particular look, we're a little bit wider than the regular ace look. We took the receiver and widened them out to create a better seam for us. And we'll talk more about that as we move on in the tape. Now our horizontal look here, now we make them defend us vertically. Now we're going to make them defend us horizontally widthwise. And they have to account for our short routes. So we're not only going to push them deep, we're going to push them horizontally. They're going to defend us on both ends. And you can see how in this formation, if you have a quarterback that can throw the football, you have a lot of flexibility with it, because now they got to defend not only the run game with maybe 8 or float a 9 guy in the box, they got to defend the pass game also. And you can see our vertical routes and our horizontal routes right here. And we're simply going with little outs, hitches here, and we'll talk more about that when we get to our pass. Our second main element that we're looking at here is we have the use of 4 immediate receivers and 4 running backs by this formation, with or without motion. And you can see I showed a previous view of the 4 receiver look. We're going to take a look at the 4 running back and receiver look here in the next few minutes. But we immediately have guys out on pass route, or we can have guys in motion or not in motion getting the ball as a runner. Here's the look as the runners. Motion guys handing the ball off either the fullback or one of the wings, coming in motion or without motion. So we have the immediate use of 4 receivers and 4 running backs at any given point, and that's our second main goal. Let's take a look at our footage here. Here's our 4 running back look. We go with motion and get the fullback the ball on a regular inside play and get him vertically downfield. Ways to get him the ball right away. This play is off tackle. And again, 4 running backs at any given point. We got the T, the Z, the 2 wings, the fullback, which is the H, or the quarterback at any given time carrying the football. Here's our quarterback running it. This one with a quarterback draw. We can run option with him, or we can just boot him outside and he keeps the ball. We have a 4 receiver look, as I mentioned earlier. We have 4 immediate receivers, either vertically or out in the flat or crossing with any type of combination route that we want to run at it. But it's 4 immediate receivers right away. So this formation gives us that flexibility with running or throwing the football. And again, depending on the talent each year can depend on what you want to do as far as personnel goes. You can actually take the wings and put them out at wideouts and take the wideouts and bring them inside. So your personnel, you have a lot of flexibility. You can take the fullback and put them out at a wing position. So there's various ways to get your personnel the football, either running or throwing wise. Attacking our opponent. By attacking in our ace formation, we have an extra gap compared to a pro-con formation. If you look at this ace formation, we can attack outside the receiver, inside the receiver, outside the wing, inside the wing, outside the tackle, inside the tackle, outside the guard, inside the guard. So we have 5 gaps on our left side and 5 gaps on our right side to attack. That gives us 1 extra gap if you look at this formation in comparison to this formation. This is your traditional pro-con formation where you have a tight end and a wide out, another wide out here, flanker with the wide out, and you got 2 running backs here. You have 1 less gap to attack when you're in the traditional 9 gap situation. So it gives us a great advantage, we feel, having that extra gap. And you can see us as we're attacking our opponents, we're attacking them using all 10 gaps. Some particular plays, we can use 3 gaps in one particular play and have the option out of that. So we feel it's a great advantage for us compared to the 9 gap pro-con looking formation. Not only do we have the extra gap, but we have 4 running backs and 4 receivers. So we feel this area here, as far as attacking our opponent, is a key area for us. Let's take a look at some footage. Going with the regular inside trap, we're attacking the A gap here and getting vertically. We'll get the side view, and you can really take a good look at the side view here versus this particular defense. We feel attacking that A gap area and getting vertically. This other one we're attacking off tackle, okay? Off tackle, which is basically our C gap area, and getting vertically. So this is our 3rd gap here. Can be our 2nd gap with the flexibility with this play. We got an A gap to the play side that we're attacking. And you can see it's going to hit right up in here to this A gap play side with the movement of the down blocks. We have another, basically a B gap area we're attacking here. A to B gap on that right side. Take another look here. It's tight. We get vertically on this. And you can see basically the personnel we're talking about, guys getting that second level and the type of personnel you need to have there. This one is an outside C gap. We're actually trying to attack that first gap that we talked about in the PowerPoint. And they cause us to turn it up maybe to that second gap outside. So we're right around C and D gap here. This one's another B to C gap that we're attacking. This one's a D gap. You can see the design was very far outside and we turned it up inside. This other one is another D gap. If you look at it from left to right, our 10th gap that we're attacking. Another look at it. We're trying to get outside here. And again, we'll talk about that particular play and break it down in great detail. But it's, again, an outside gap. This one, another outside gap, D gap. Again, same thing. We're attacking D gap here. Getting outside, working our way back up to the 10th gap. Another look at it as we're working that side view. And then the last one is a B gap type of situation where we're hitting it B gap and working our way to A. Fourth area we're looking at is predicting the defense versus our formation. This double wing formation, teams have to balance themselves out on each side in order to defend us. If they tried to overload one side, we'd have the flexibility to go to the weaker side. So in this particular area, we have to look at how the defense is trying to defend us. And if you take the center and work your center over on the left side and your right side, you have 5 guys that are trying to defend you on the left or right side. So you can count them. On the right side, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The free safety staying neutral. So we have 5 on the right side and the same number on the left side. If they would move a free safety over or move a backer over, we can attack them on the other side. So we're predicting their alignment by our formation. If they don't balance out, we're going to take advantage of them on that weaker side. That was the 4-4 defense. Here's the 4-3. And again, you can count. Exclude the Mike inside linebacker here over the center. You exclude him, they got 5 right and 5 left. If they cheat him left to right, we can attack that weaker area. And let's take a look at the 50 defense. Same thing. Exclude the zero technique, the nose guard, and you can count 5 to your right and 5 to your left. If they start rotating maybe the secondary, we can counter off of that and attack them in that weaker area. So we are predicting their defensive alignment by our formation, and then we can choose how we want to go to attack them. Predict defense by formation. We're going to see a 3-4 defense here. We'll get a good side view of it. We're going vertically on this particular defense because of the way the corner was playing us here. We'll get a good side view here on how they're playing us. They got 5 on the right and 5 on the left. And in this particular alignment, this 3-4 defense, they got 3 down guys, and then they have 4 guys that are up. Okay, they show a variation of a 50 look. They got both corners playing tight, and they got a free safety up, cheating over a little bit. Let's take a look here. And we go vertically on it. They're dropping 4 under coverages, and they're sneaking the free safety up. But by the alignment, we know who we can attack. But the next area, we're going to see a 50 defense. Again, a variation of the 3-4. But they got 5 guys on the right, 5 on the left that are very balanced. So we have to choose very wisely on how we want to attack them. Here's a 4-4 defense. They're in a little bit of a double anchor position, but you can see they're pretty even wise, and we just try to find a weakness in that area. Here's another 4-4 defense. Okay, they got 8 guys in the box, 1 free safety. And then here's a 4-3 defense. They got the Mike cheated over just a tad bit, and we're able to go to the weaker area on this. You can get a good side view of the Mike cheated over to the field. The use of motion can create strength and misdirection. So you're going to see some motions here that we're going to use. We have a motion to the right, a motion to the left, a motion across, and it creates a strength. We can get a running back going downhill towards the line of scrimmage with the football at full speed in a second to third step. Okay? By having that extra guy attacking line of scrimmage, he's at full speed. That's a strength for us. That's another guy on that side of the line, that side of the football, attacking with the football in his hands or not in his hands. So it's a strength for us. And by having that motion, teams might start to adjust with that motion, which creates a misdirection for us. So by having that strength going towards, it's a misdirection, either run or pass wise. So we have that option off of this. And we feel it makes us a very, very effective offense as you look at the motion and how we counter off of that. So let's take a look at the video here. Here's a strength for us running off tackle with this first play. We got the guy coming in motion, going downhill at full speed, running right off tackle. Get another view of it, a little wider view. Motion, going off tackle, downhill at full speed. Next one is a straight motion across, going full speed and attacking that D gap. So this is a strength for us. He's already at full speed with the advantage before any of the defensive guys are moving or getting out of their stance. Here's another play off tackle with motion. Again, full speed, shoulder square, going downhill and working it up off that C gap. Same type of play at a little wider angle. This next one's a misdirection. We're showing that we're going to go off tackle here. And then we come back with a counter, or we call our tackle trap, which we'll talk about today. But you see we're showing power and coming back with a counter. You can see the wide view. You can watch the defense start adjusting, and then we come back the other way. They had a man accounted for him, but we picked him up with a block. This next play, we're showing that we're going to run outside and we come back inside with a trap. So you can see us working outside, showing, and we come back inside and hit that hard A gap. Again, the side view showing us running off outside and come up inside with the play. This next play, we're going to show we're running off tackle and give it back to the wing with another counter look. Showing off tackle, delaying and coming back the other way. This next play, we're going to show like we're running our outside play and come back with a counter. Again, showing outside, coming back with a counter the opposite way. So it's a misdirection. This one, we're adding another misdirection. We're showing like we're running off tackle, then a counter, and we throw the football into the flat. So we're showing two different looks here. Off tackle, counter, and then we pass. This next one, we're going to show that we're running off tackle and then boot with a pass. Next play, we're showing off tackle, plus the counter, and then another play action pass here. Off tackle, counter, and play action. Now our sixth element is our formation creates blocking angles by our formation. Okay? Creates the blocking angles that we need to be effective offense. You can see here with our diagram, we drew up one of our off tackle plays. We're either blocking back or cutting off, or we're either double teaming or blocking down, or we're leading up the hole, we're kicking out. We have all angles by this formation. So in a pro-con formation, you don't have the angles that you would in an ace formation. So these angles are created by our formation alone. And you can see how it can be effective for us and how we can adjust our offense geared around these particular angles and how defenses are trying to attack us. Okay, we're running a little inside trap here. We're blocking back, leading up the hole. In this particular case, the way the defensive man tried to defend us here, he took himself out of the play by going vertically. We didn't even have to block him. This next play is an off tackle play where we're walling down, leading up inside the hole. But everything's created angles. We're not man-on-man blocking in this particular scheme. We're blocking down, walling out, and cutting off. This one, same thing. We wall down, we trap, and get vertically. Simply wall down, trap, and get vertical. This thing, same thing. This plays off tackle, and again, we're walling down, kicking out, or leading up. Walling down, kicking out, or leading up. And same thing with this reverse play. Okay, wall down the front side, lead up from the back side. We're cutting off the back side. Walling down, leading up. That particular case, we ended up trapping. And our last area, we have the shell theory, which creates illusions. With the four running back look, including with the quarterback, we have the illusion of we have three shells, and we have one ball between the three shells. And the magician takes the shells and moves them around left and right and in between. And you try to follow those shells to see where the ball is. And it creates an illusion for you that you can't follow. If you cross-read, we can attack you in a certain way. You have to read your keys. And if you don't read your keys, you can get caught in that illusion theory. So we feel this offense is effective and gives us another great advantage for us because of this illusion or shell theory. Let's take a look at some of the footage off of this. Okay, we're showing an outside play here, and we come back inside with it. So we're creating that illusion of us running way outside, but we come up inside. So if they're trying to take off outside, and we see them cheating out there, we'll cut it back up inside and give it to one of our other backs. This next one, we're showing off tackle, and we come back up with a counter. Show off tackle and come back up inside. So if we have guys cheating towards the off tackle play, we'll come back up inside. This one we're showing off tackle, and then we're staying outside. We go off tackle, and then we go wide outside. We call this our reverse play. You can see showing off tackle, come back up outside. This one's a play action pass. We're showing that we're running our outside play, coming back the other way with the play action pass. Showing we're running outside, come back up with the play action. This next one, we're showing that we're going to run off tackle, but we come back up inside. And this one, we're showing off tackle, we're showing the counter, and we throw the ball in the flat. Off tackle, counter, and back in the flat. Wrapping up here, our offensive goals. We feel with this offense, if we can score 21 or more points, we feel we're putting our team in an advantage to win the football game. With this offense, we try to cut down on as many turnovers as possible. Now, depending on the type of personnel we have in there, whether we throw the ball or run the ball, we got to cut the turnovers down. And we have one basic thought in mind with this offense, this double wing philosophy here, is to control the line of scrimmage by getting off the line of scrimmage, and the angle and combo blocks allow us to have an advantage with this offense. I hope you enjoyed the information that we went through today. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call or email me. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and take care.